viewers, and good morning to everyone tuning in to Galaxy Television this morning, the 12th of March 2024. It's a beautiful Tuesday, like I always call it, Tuesday with a difference. Okay, Tuesday with a difference, because I believe Tuesday after Monday comes Tuesday, so a little bit of, yesterday was just like that. Today is another time for me to, go up a little bit. My name is Adejoke Adobe David. I hope you had a splendid night rest, and family is doing good. If you're not married, I hope you're doing great and you're hopeful of what God is about to do in your life, and bless the work of your hand today. Okay, Family and Value is a program that is set for families, married or married, those who are preparing, those who are in the line of embracing what it means to go into courtship as well. It's a program that is set to make you and prepare you, and also remind you of those little details that comes with coming together and bonding as a family. So how well have you been going with your family today? Today especially put together, and my darling girl is here. Hey baby, I call her Joy Girl.
Good morning.
So
good morning to you.
Okay,
yes,
this morning, thank God for life.
Thank God for life. Good morning to our esteemed viewers. Lori has said it's a Tuesday with a difference, When you wake up and see a new day, it's an opportunity to tell your Creator, thank you. Thank you, because so many people were not able to see this day that you have seen, no matter the situation you found yourself. Please, it's a time to pick up yourself, stand up, dust yourself, and move ahead. Because the future holds a brighter one for you. And family is togetherness. To everyone who have lost a loved one around this period, we are sending our condolences to you. And hey, on the other hand, one of our guests, today is his birthday, Pastor Jude Destiny. He was here on Monday on the show. So we are wishing you happy birthday from Family and Values.
Pastor.
The whole of Galaxy
more
is
anointing.
saying, yeah, more anointing.
Fire.
He's a very young pastor. He's not married. He's a youth pastor, a general overseer, so he carries the anointing. A happy birthday to you. My name is Joy Abu. Welcome to Family and Values. We are streaming across all our social media platforms. Please download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go as we bring values to you just at the comfort of your home or office. Welcome.
Okay, as we bring value to you just at the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
Okay, please, as you continue to watch, the Lord will continue to bless you. And I want to also wish our brothers and sisters in Islam,
Ramadan Kareem.
Like they will say it in Yoruba. As in, you've started this, you get to the end of it. That is just my own little understanding. So to the Bello family, to the Igoro family, to the Mustafa family, to my father's family, okay, and all my friends who are Muslims, I wish you Ramadan Kareem. Okay, I love you. And my colleagues, I have plenty of them.
I have an uncle. I think he's the only one in my lineage that is a Muslim, and we are wishing you happy Ramadan.
And so don't forget to join our Ramadan program.
Yes,
every
please.
morning.
Every morning.
You have lots and lots and lots of goodies. Joy. Hey, these goodies. If I have my way, I will not miss it.
Jokingly, I told you, I said my son name is Abu. So one of these days, I might just, call. I won't put the Joy. I'll just say Abu on the line.
Apply. Unfortunately, we cannot do it. But you have this privilege, you have this honor, you have this grace. So make good use of it, because we have got all the way to bring all the
Galaxy
products,
streaming live.
Galaxy streaming live, and they want all our viewers, brothers and sisters in Islam, to be benefactors of this beautiful gift. So as we continue with our program today, it's going to be loaded, and it's for our future, it's for the beginning of many good things in our life. So we'll have to go for these mini features, and we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Okay, so it's time for us to discuss. Our topic is dynamics of training teenagers. As they grow, you see the best part of their life, and it's always a privilege and an honor to go through that stage with them. Yeah, sometimes they look like, you are too stubborn, you are this, you are that, but it takes a great and wise woman or father or mother to go through that stage with them and understand who God has created them to be. And you really need to allow them to, to ride on that. Yeah, as much as you guide them, you still be there to let them, for once in a while, when they make mistakes, you bring them back and let them understand. So we have dynamics of training teenagers this morning as our topic. And myself and Joy will be discussing with a beautiful woman in the house, tall, elegant, beautiful. I don't know how else to describe this woman because each time I say, God, I'm horrible. This woman is slimy and she's looking so beautiful and so natural. I have Bisi Ojolo, okay, in the house. I call her Jujulu. I'm also saying Jujulu, always looking Jujulu. So I have Bisi Ojolo in the house. She's family and relationship therapist, a public speaker, a writer, an author. Look at it continue. She's live with us on Family and Value this morning. It's so good to have you.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to have you around us. Thank you for always honoring our invitation.
How is the family? How is Oga? Thank you for
we are doing great.
allowing you to be here.
Yeah, that's true.
Every point in time we reach out to you. So this morning we're looking at dynamics of training teenagers. I want to find out, how was your growing up like?
Okay, my growing up was wonderful. I'm not too old, but back then there are a lot of things I would say probably our parents didn't understand, like the way the world is now. But then they did their best to train us the way they understood, or the best way we felt is good for us. So growing up as a teenager was wonderful. And this question is quite very funny. So sort of I from time I've been though I'm an adult now, but I've always been a teenager. Like even in church, I'm in the teenage department, then you are somewhere. I just love these children. And you said something which is actually very, very, I usually call it their uniqueness and their peculiarity, and that's the thing people or the world we dwell on. I would tell them they are difficult, they are bad, they are easy, but it's actually the peculiarity and the uniqueness of who a teenager is, because at that point is when we're trying to find our food, to know who we are, the stage of you want to this identity crisis, who who am I, and what should I do, peer pressure and all these things. So growing up was wonderful. My parents tried, they did their best, and then I think maybe because of my temperament and because I only talk in the case of assignment, I don't talk. So you hardly see me do some things even back then. Then I went to a boarding school, only girls boarding school. So even then there was nothing. It wasn't, this is just this
Joy, I was
person, you
growing up
understand?
like?
So there was not much else.
Bisi, hold on. I was young.
Me?
Short, you have 60 seconds. I'm going to do the same thing because you're going to throw it at me.
I had a wonderful growing up. I grew up in a churchy environment, so we were more cocktail, the kind of friends we had. Yes, we were more cocktail than
we're cobbed.
Yeah, honorable and my mom, they actually did. My parents actually make sure we didn't go off this thing, off track. They tried as much as possible to. So I wouldn't really say I had issues with peer pressure, or no, I didn't have any of that. But they just did their best to make sure that we were just contented in that. So I wouldn't even say I had a wonderful teenage life because I didn't explore. But the only thing I knew that I personally was battling was low self-esteem as a teenager, and it took me a while to come out of it. Yes.
Okay, mine, they are complete, right? Me, I'm a single mother brought up, and I will say it was very tough, and it wasn't as smooth as it is. But I want to say thank God to all those people who took time to bring me up. My parents are not dead, I'm not saying that, but I was brought up by my mom and my beautiful grandmom, who is late Hannah Jai Salako, very beautiful. But sometimes when others are, I remember, you said somebody, we had a talk some time ago when you said a child was tagged and bastard by the parent in school. The day somebody try, I don't fight. I don't even know how to fight. But my mom is very strong. She's a very strong woman, I tell you. She can take 3 men at once. And but what I'm saying is this: I don't know how to fight. But that day, like Samson,
You fought.
I don't know where that strength
About
came
him.
from. How dare you call me a bastard? I know my father. I may not be living with him. Because you're living with your father doesn't mean I don't have a father. He's responsible for my upkeep and he's a responsible man. So, you know, it was a beautiful growing up and disciplined mother. Hey, even though your father is not there, but you're disciplined and you're being, you know, put in, you don't do this, you don't do that. So when you got to teenage age and you're getting to the adult age or more, you fly.
but
Jai, over
but
to
then,
you.
let me ask, are there lessons that you learned when you were growing up as a teenager that you feel one or two teenagers out there will pick, or parents? I'll start with myself. For me, what I learned in all of this was contentment.
Yeah.
My parents taught us content. My dad is a politician and my mom, of course, is a social person. But they taught us in the midst of plenty contentment.
Contentment, yes.
I still remember the day my brother took something that was not his. It was mango. We were coming back from church. He now plucked mango from somebody's tree. If you can't imagine the beatings they gave him for just plucking ripe mango on a tree outside on normal road, though. So you can imagine. So what lessons did you learn as a teenager that you think teenagers or parents out there can?
You just said one of the lessons, contentment. Because to the glory of God, we were, and they are alive until today, you know. To the glory of God, we had all we wanted. But there is one thing that we always tell us. Whatever I give should be enough. We should be okay
That's
with
it.
it.
Satisfied.
And another thing is that we should be appreciative. There is this I usually tell teenagers. That's why today I don't have entitlement mentality. When you do something for me, I don't see it as my rights. If you don't do it, I don't see you as you must do.
Yeah.
Because we have it now today.
They're not
Even
dependent on that.
even couples, they're like, ah, you must, and I tell no, he must not, or she mustn't. So that's why you do something for me. I remember back then, if I had to probably leave school, the driver is not coming to pick, I had to go to the park to, you know, board a bus or probably a car or something. I resemble my mother, you know. And so because I don't really stay like that, but some person wants to say, they'll be like, ah, Omo Kinire, like this is the daughter of somebody. They would have paid for me. And I didn't actually met the person, and I'm like, ah, sir, hello, so who paid? And they'll be like, ah, but I ain't laying as in that, but or something. I'll be like, because you must ask that man what your name is, the family he came from, because I must tell my father. If you get to my you're saying, Bodakon, who is Bodakon? You must tell him, because besides the fact that I've appreciated him, my father will see the person and will say, ah, thank you. Not because he doesn't have, or because I don't have my money, but it taught us that the fact that people don't owe you anything. So if they are doing it for you, you should know that it's a privilege and you must be grateful for that thing they're doing for you. And another thing is the fact that you don't just walk aimlessly. In the sense that, you know, a lot of things happen. Even like today, I told you I have teenagers around me. And while Olori asks that question, it's one of the things the teenagers I'm mentoring would definitely ask, ma, you're growing up. When you were growing up, so happened. I'd be like, my growing up, it was very boring. But truth is, all the things you're having, I do fine with saying, you know, computer and everything. We had them. I had my mate too that got pregnant while I was, you know, in school. So it's not like it's peculiar or it's just happening. It happened back then. Those things we have social media now that is making it worse. So the thing is, my father will tell you, you know, we have our values. Loyalty is very important. Very key. And because, because of my father's position, he's a king. Because of his position, there are things you don't dare do. Because other children are watching in the side. So we're like, oh my, these did this. So, you know, that thing, and then we don't go out. They call us, you know, the children, they call them and gates. You don't go out.
That is us.
And I remember,
I remember
there was something people would say, it's when we go out, that's when our father, we know that this, that, they believe once we could. And the time I went to what they were expecting, this is my yawo. A lot of persons were saying it, but I didn't yawo. You know, because that foundation was there. I understood what the family is about. Even if at that point we didn't know that what it's called is values. But then, in their little knowledge, you made us understand that this is who we are in this woman. You must follow it. And
I think to chip in, I can relate because my dad would take us to church, but my dad will always tell us that I'm driving you to church is not your right, it's just a privilege. Anytime my father got us something, my father was the first person that made me understand rights and privileges, and that's what I tell my kids today. Your rights as a child, I won't tamper with it, but your privileges, I can withhold it. So my dad, my parents actually, they did.
Because I know better than you
yes,
as a
yes,
mother.
yes.
I know when
And
you
it
do
also
that.
prepares your mind to let you know that because you have it and other children don't, doesn't mean you bring them
You
down.
bring them
Or
down.
you're better than they
Don't
are.
feel you are
Ahead.
you are
You're
ahead or
superior.
you're superior. So that's why privilege is really,
It's
really
really
something
important.
you need to understand and instill in our
And
teenagers.
you know, another thing that I think helps, I won't forget, another thing, pillar is godliness. You know, godliness. I won't forget. Even though, again, we were thinking he was stressing us, both of them were stressing us. In the morning, they came to come and pray at
Yes, sir.
5 a.m.
you know, my
Honorable and my
father,
mother.
he read newspaper, all these, don't let me mention newspapers. You know, we had, in the system, they were stuck.
You know, they will
So
start
the
giving
Bible
while you are
is
there.
not
They will
the
start
And
giving.
yes, and you're kneeling down to pray.
When my uncle
And daddy
Dad
is
wants to
praying.
wake us up, she bagang, bagang.
Yes, the bell.
You'll be thinking you're already in heaven. This bell
My
already this
parents,
morning.
my parents will not miss morning devotion. I think my father is so tired or my mom is so tired. You must do that morning
just have to.
devotion.
My father can't be tired though. The man that like maybe after 5:30 you're hearing this Asunlayo, Ajilayo. Once you're hearing that Asunlayo,
You have to stand up.
hey, and even if you're not standing,
water
and all
will
these things.
flood your head or you.
And he's not praying, you're not
wake up.
saying amen very well. See, everything in that sitting room will land on you. Come, throw newspaper,
Every
back.
left, right, center.
Touch, back.
If you do that with children of now,
ah.
no, some of us still do. I won't
Yes.
lie, I still do once in a while. Because when I wake you up and you're not waking up, almost stand up. Especially when you are dozing. Oh yeah, on your feet. On your feet.
And I
By the
think
time you stand
think
up.
one thing I learned from my mom is if she's coming back or maybe she's cooking. And me, I didn't like to cook. I was just that one child. I'm sure my
No
mom
wonder
just
we have not eaten.
I was just this child that didn't like anything
food from
choice.
this
I could pay for convenience as long as I have opportunity. So my mom now drew a roaster. So I was cook every Tuesday. And you know, she's this kind of person that if she's cooking and you're not there, maybe you're in the room, my mom will literally come and serve you the food in your room.
She's passing a message.
The grace to eat that food there.
Oh my God.
Pray it comes from
It's
heaven.
time for us to go for a break, and this is taking our word on marble. Please look very well and read this word on marble. We always have something very, very important for you to pick. It's a blue pen, and don't miss it for anything. Just we'll be right back. Stay tuned. It's a very beautiful one. I love it. I'll come back to that later while we wait for our Zoom. But we're still here with BC, and so I want to ask them, how do we now engage our teenagers on being open and honest with their parents when they do certain things? You know, this lady was telling us something yesterday to me. If you do anything wrong, come back home.
Come back home.
No matter how bad it is, come back
Return
home.
home.
So how do we now come open and honest to them when they want to come to us? We are open, we are honest. They are also open and honest to us back. How do we achieve this with our
Thank you.
teenagers?
You know, the thing is, Rome, they said, is not built in a day. And the reality, though we're talking about teenagers, is the fact that this thing was supposed to start from the beginning. And that's why there's this quote, I've forgotten the person that has the quote now. He says, it is better to train a child than to repair an adult. Meaning, training starts even from the womb. One of my guys wrote a book, Parenting from the Womb. Meaning, whatever you want a child to be, you can even I remember I've been praying even before when you understand. So you form them through prayer. That is, then from the womb begin. Why am I saying that? A lot of us want to do this fabricated approach because they are not teenagers and we are seeing a laxity where the things were lacking because we didn't do proper work while they were, the stage. There is this in parenting we call something total parenting. And total parenting is the fact that when they're still teenagers, still probably even preteen, you can't, not totally again, they want to contribute.
Yeah.
Even toddlers these days, 5 years will be telling you, I want this, 3 years, I want this. But what I'm saying is, at that stage, you still have, like, say, 90% to 95% of total control over these children. But once they are teenagers, we call something cooperative parenting. In the sense that you cooperate with them. They are bringing theirs, you're trying to, and that was what you talked about, that daddy will do them, because what you're doing is you're putting them in trial, like this is the right thing to do. Now, how do we make them come to us and be open? it boils down to the fact that if we have not done, if we had not done what we're meant to do before they become teenagers, now is the time to say, it starts with you. Model what you want your children to do. You want a child to be open, you're not open to them. Not in everybody. There are times we know that there are things we are doing and we know they should know some things. You come clean. And there's something I do with my son, very young, but then intentionally, I will just tell him, your mommy is doing this now. And whenever he's coming to mommy, something happened, he will come. He's just 5. And you see, we sit down, we talk at times. At times it doesn't make sense, but BC it must make sense. Because if it's not making sense at 5, it won't make sense at 13 or 12.
Yeah.
They will seek that thing outside.
They will seek it outside.
Yeah. So I make sure, you know, so it's so, the thing is, you make them, now that probably we've not done it because they're now teenagers, make sure that you're open. And again, one very important thing a lot of people don't do with communication, it's a skill, is a listening skill. A lot of us want to talk.
Always
we want
talk.
to always talk. And you know, parents, that's why I usually tell parents something. Parenting is before that you say, mama, or even a parent, they didn't learn it from anywhere. Parenting now, you must learn parenting. You have to learn. We have a lot of resources. You learn.
You read, you study.
Because, yes.
Our Zoom
you don't
guest is on standby. So, hello, Remy Lawal, are you there? Remy Lawal, good morning. Joy is going to take off with him. Hello, Remy, are you there? Okay, I think, Joy, I think you have to go on. When it's ready, you let us know again.
Okay, now, you know, for me, you know, as much as I enjoyed teenagers, I struggled with a whole lot. And most of the struggles were things that, it's now I feel like I should have a conversation with both my father and mother and say, this were the things you people made me go through as a teenager. Because to say it, I suffered trauma as a, and I couldn't talk to anyone. I was dealing with low self-esteem. I was dealing with depression at a very teenage age. It took me to adulthood. So to understand, it's not as if my parents did anything, but the environment was toxic. It wasn't comfortable for me. Now, how do you advise parents who are dealing with challenges raising their teenage children? Because of course my daughter is 11 and she's already giving me this preteen teenage attitude and like what you said, learning, of course, because I'm opportune to be aware now. So there are so many things I'm trying to let her understand what I didn't learn. But for parents who are already in that ship and they are struggling, now they feel like it's now I should give all the training. It's now you want to be that friend you were never there. How do they, what advice are you going to give them so that the teenage child can cooperate with them? Because most teenagers now are rebellious to their parents.
So I think it's from what that was what I was trying to say before. Truth is, it starts with the parent. Sincerely, we can't do away with training ourselves. That is very important because what you don't have, you can't give. So you need to have it to be able to give your children. Now another thing is, you can be their student. Don't be too proud to say, hey, it's not the same. And that's you can't use analog, you know, wisdom to parent digital children. Do you understand? You can be their students. I remember one of my bosses would say something. The time COVID came and you had to use Zoom, they didn't know Zoom. They didn't. It was their son. I think he was still in secondary school. They were like, Mom, Daddy, they are using Zoom. They learned from this guy. The guy was out old then. I think probably 15 or less than 15. They sat down. And if you know the amount of millions they made from that Zoom, if they had not learned, they would be shouting to, is everybody COVID, COVID, COVID. But they can say, during COVID we made, wow, they were ready to learn. Why am I saying that? I've seen a lot of our parents. There was a time when we were in Port Harcourt, invited by a priest to come and actually sit to talk with parents. After the parent, I did the series for parents for months. Then I went to their children for just one day. Not even a whole day like that, but for some hours. It was revealing.
Okay.
You understand? So it's about listening is very important. Be their student. Listen to them. Now that you didn't do what you're meant to do, now is the time to learn. Now is the time to listen while they're talking. I'm not saying you should allow them do what they want to do. But let that be, you know, you create the boundary. Let them know what is right for them. While they are shouting and they are saying, no, mommy, it's not the thing, don't shout with them. You won't get the best.
That's true.
There are still times you...
I love that.
Our guest is available and is on standby right now. Remy Lawal, good morning. How are you this morning? Hello, Remy Lawal. Is Remy there? Okay. Okay. I think they're still working on him. Okay. Like you said, it's not when they are now teenagers you start battling with them. But I want to ask, how would you advise parents who are used to the rod and punishment and all that, even they themselves are not righteous? How do we struggle or find this easy? How do we work it out? Because of course, you, the foundation, you have issues. Like your Bible will say, ilé taba fi tọ́mọ, àbí ilé taba fi tọ́mọ now, you will know my wo. When you build a house with your saliva. Now we go do that. That's your proverb.
What a parable! What a
So
proverb!
the foundation itself is not strong. It is full of lies, deceit, and this when they see you before they come to they see
Of course.
lies, deceit, unnecessary this and that and that. Don't let me start putting everything into your mouth. But how do you expect such a parent to handle this kind of children? Because they want to like meanwhile the children have seen those things and they're like, Baba, Daddy, cool. And then you're gone. How do we see everything now? How do we marry this? How do we correct this? Is it possible to be corrected?
Definitely. Now, the wrong time to beat any child is when they are teenagers. We've had issues of children beating their parents back.
Yes, yes.
I'm talking about one I was privileged to even be aware when I was like the father was like, he actually wanted to collect the cane, but when that wasn't possible, he used his hand. He's like that, he shouted, why is he beating me? Why? And all these things. You know, and they will tell you, we are trying to talk, see, ma'am, I won't lie to you. The issue is if parents can listen. The Bible even say we be slow to talk, then swift to listen, and then to anger and all these things.
Yes,
We call it and we say we have
Fast
2
to
ears,
listen.
and you understand what I'm saying? That means you should listen twice as much as you talk. But a lot of parents, because we think we are, I'm the father, I'm the mother, I know more than they do, but men, you don't know anything. If we allow our teenagers to talk at times, we will know that we don't know anything. Because while they are talking, while they are gisting, you get some things from them, and you don't use glasses to do it. You might even chill. Even if you don't have answer at that point, tell them there is no answer, we'll talk later. Think through it before you think. The worst time you can beat any child is when they are teenagers. From 13, you're beating a child. When even at under 10, some of them are shouting like, mommy, don't beat me. Mommy, why are you beating me? They will ask questions. What have I done? After the beating, one man told me, he said after, I think the child was this 7. He said after everything, he came and was like, mommy, you know you beat me for this, and this was what happened. The child then started explaining. The woman said she felt bad, started crying. What happened? She didn't listen to the child while all he knew was I just want to beat. And you know, let me say something to us. You talk about trauma. A lot of us are traumatized.
As parents.
As parents.
Yes.
So because a lot of parents are traumatized, what we are passing on is just our trauma
On those children.
on the children. And so it's sort of a transferred aggression. Now I tell people, they said hurting people hurt others. But you hurting others doesn't mean your wound will get healed. And now you're hurting people that don't even know you are bruised or there is something in your heart that needs healing. So the thing is, a lot of parents doing this is because they're traumatized. And that's why I usually tell parents, see, training is important. A lot of parents needs to be reparented. Because even themselves, they need to be reparented.
Yeah, I wanted us to hear
They
that.
need to be reparented. Because even themselves, they are not, they need help. And so, if you can be sincere with yourself, deal with yourself first. It starts with that, dealing with yourself. As in, I want to deal with BC. It's not my son or my daughter. The issue is me. So where am I going wrong? What are the things I picked from my mother or my father? What are the things I picked from my environment? What are the things I picked from probably one auntie or one uncle I lived with? Okay, this one is not serving me and my children. What will serve us? And then please, don't compare your children. A lot of teenage mothers or parents do that. You don't compare. A child you compare with, even their siblings, they won't do well. Because already you're comparing them now. So what do you expect from them? And again, celebrate little. Even the same thing I advise couples. You know, we love to celebrate results. But what about the effort?
Efforts put into that result.
Exactly. The fact that I tried to do something and I failed at it doesn't mean I'm a failure. It's just that I didn't get a process very well. I could go back after the first failure, look at what I didn't do well, and then try again. I will succeed at it. And then, as parents, celebrate that process of, oh, it's, you know, maybe it's their studies, they were able to wake up in the night, they read, but then it was still 50-something and you were expecting 90-something. Even though while you were in their, you know, while you were in school, your own was read 30-something%. But it's the same you'd have been saying, when we were in school, first, I was always the first. Meanwhile, it has never happened.
The day they will see your results.
And we are projecting what we are not. And another thing, stop projecting your fears on your children.
Yes.
Your parents failed at something. You failed at something. Doesn't mean they will fail at it. Even they won't fail at it. That's why we are there as their parents to guide them. We are to guide. The Bible says, training up a child. And see, training, teenagers today need that training. And training involves mentoring. It involves teaching. It involves, you know, you keep talking about it. That's why it is training. You talk and talk again. You know, and you know, they have, excuse me, teenagers have selective amnesia.
Yes, they do.
It's not that they heard while you were saying that thing. But because at that point they had a lot they are exploring in their brain, they're not even telling, because they're not even available for them to talk to. And you were saying some things. Mommy, did you say it? You said it. They have selective amnesia. You don't beat a child for that. And that's the place where the guidance can. So for that question, Olori, the parents, be ready to be represented, be ready to learn, be ready to be their student, be ready to listen to them, and then again, know that your trauma is talking more often than not. We ask us, you are even beaten. The beating thing, where did it start from? Because our parents beat us. Did it work for a lot of child?
You know, I'm actually coming to that beating part because I watched my elder sister being beaten by my dad, to be precise, because she was the first. Now I'm understanding the fact that he wanted her to be the light we would follow. And anytime he's beating her, he will invite me. Oh yeah, come and watch. Sometimes he would lock the door and they beat her. And so that thing took my elder sister back to herself. Till today, she's so enclosed to herself that before she even tell you her problem, it's difficult. So I took that decision. My dad never beat me. In fact, I used to say my father has never raised his hand on me. And I took that decision never to beat my children. I used to say my daughter is 11, I've never beaten her. And people ask, is it that she doesn't misbehave? Of course, she misbehaves. But there are ways I punish them. In fact, it's way better than the beating. Now, I'm coming to, you know, it's so sad that when it comes to teenagers, most parents bring this idea of, I know it all. I'm the one that gave birth to you. So you cannot come. Now, do you think that parents are losing their teenage ones due to pride and arrogance?
Serious reason. We are losing them. Which day? In church. Where, okay, there is, the time they said I should go to the teenage church, I just told them, I said, there will be one Sunday that will be open mic. So we allow you to ask your questions. And so it's not about just Bible. Oh my God. You know, we have some teenagers in church that they're in church because of their parents. The moment they get to school like this, forget anything church. And we have some of them that they will still go to, but they will never attend your church. It is your church. And so I was asking, there is this mom event that mommy was looking at. I said, yes. When I was asking, because she was looking, why the question? I said, because we have a lot of teenagers that the face they have is parental face in church. They have the church face. They have their friend's face. They have their own face. They have their siblings' face. Meaning, it's what the siblings know about them, what the parents know about them, what the church know about them, what they want to display part time. So there are a lot of faces to your teenager. And that's not too beautiful. So we're losing them because we are not allowing them to express themselves. I'm not saying let them express themselves to, you know, perdition, but when they express themselves, you'll be able to know where you need to help them.
Help them.
But if you're not allowing them to, and you're saying, hey, I'm your mother, I'm 60 something, and that's when you hear them. I one told me that mommy is old school. One of them told me mommy is old school. See, you can be old school in your age and still have a teenage heart. That's why I tell, whenever I go, I say, mommy, any teenage heart, you have teenagers, or even have adult hearts, have a teenager. When you have their hearts, they are open to you, regardless of whether you're 70 or you're something. I have someone that is over 60, they still open up and they will talk with them. Whenever he's there, will be like, it's my space, now it's their safe space. They know they can be free with that man and we talk. Why? He trained himself. So the thing is, we are losing them because we are not allowing them to be who, Olori said something, who God, you know, created. We are not allowing them to be who God wants them to be. And so because we are not allowing them as parents, they are going outside to learn what they are not meant to learn, and they are bringing it in, and that's what we are now shouting on them for. Meanwhile, we are the ones who are allowing them to actually, you know, explore in the confine of our home where there will be something healthy, so we'll be able to guide them in the right path. And so if a child doesn't have that from you as a parent, they get it from wherever they can get it from. And as a teenager, they are always seeking solution part time. Why? Because it's a stage where they are still trying to find themselves. Adolescence, it's that stage. You know, something is growing. Today you see a different you, you know, as you know, and you're wondering, what is this? You get somewhere and you see that the way these children are behaving is different from how I was taught. How can I be like them? Peer pressure comes in. Another place at times, oh, this one is different again. How? Because at that point is a question of how. Who am I? How? What can I do? What am I created to do?
In 60 seconds, just give us your final advice on this topic. I know we'll still do many more of parenting. We have been doing it and we want to do more. Just in 60 seconds, your final advice to our viewers at home.
All right, thank you. My final advice would be to parents, sincerely. Because parenting is about you, not about your children. The moment we shift the focus from ourselves to our children, we are failing. Because that is the moment we think we are super being. We know more than them, and so they should yield to everything. So learn, train, get trained yourself for your children. And you know, there is this saying like, if your children, they are whole, they are good, they give you peace tomorrow. And what every parent is looking for is that peace. Not a child that, you know, will grow up and start giving you trouble. So please, it's important that we learn, be their student, learn from people, parenting coaches and all those things, courses you can get, learn, and then be ready to listen to them. So that instead of these children seeking help from strangers that will destroy them, they will be able to come to you and get rather advice that will help them, you know, move forward in life. And I'm telling you, a lot of things will be better, and we do better as a society and as a parent.
Thank you so very much.
I wish you could continue, seriously.
You know, when you're dealing with teenagers, for me, maybe because it's a stage every parent has passed through, and we are dealing with different things. For me, it takes me memory lane. It makes me remember growing up and everything. So I would just say to parents, please don't transfer your trauma on your teenagers. Don't transfer your anger. Whatever situation you find yourself in, please do not transfer it on the teenagers. They are not the reason why you're in that situation. They are not responsible for your predicament. They are not, I don't know how to put it, they are not the ones that asked the situation to come up. They are part of whatever it is that is there. So, like our guest has said, co-parenting with your teenagers is key. That is the only way to rescue them so that they don't get devoured. I still remain Joy Abu. We'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday.
Okay, parents can be reparented. Please. I try. God knows I try. And I know you're trying. But please don't lose guard on them. Don't stop loving them. Don't stop caring for them. Sometimes I will tell my daughter, if you don't do this, I will not do this for you. Sometimes it's not about beating and beating. We don't need to mark their body for them. I will mark your body. You show your great-grandchildren. No, we don't need to make ourselves look like a tiger so that their grandchildren will come and say, your mother was wicked. Please, let's be great parents. Let's do it right, and let's bring them up the way God Himself wants them to evolve and become in future. May we not be an hindrance to the perfect will of God in their life. On that note, I want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you to the president of Galaxy Television, our producer, and Mr. Dewale, we are missing you. Also to Mr. Teslim, thank you. And thanks to all of our crew. Thank you, Remy. Unfortunately, we couldn't join us, but it's so good to always have you guys. Have a beautiful and a wonderful day ahead. Bye for now.